But it is time to start off with the villain. He is rubbing it in that he retired Sting last night. He loved the fact that he killed their hero. Is that there is no one on this Monday Night Raw roster as a result of that is on the same level as the villain. It is all over for them because Scurll is back on top. Long live the villain. Lars Sullivan! Oh, driving into the ribs of Sami Zayn! And the revival are the #1 contenders to the World Tag Team titles. Roman Reigns has assaulted Hiroshi Tanahashi. Oh my god! Powerbomb! Tanahashi's back, could have given out on him. Jordynne Grace! The Mae Young Classic winner! Staring down with Asuka. Goto versus Punk, and the winner faces Scurll at Battleground. GTR! Shelton Kai! Hirooki Goto is the #1 contender to the World Heavyweight title. Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is Monday Night Raw. I know the Royal Rumble was only just a week ago, but it's time to focus on Battleground. The Raw exclusive pay-per-view is literally right around the corner. It is, well, quite literally this Sunday. And while we have it to look forward to, there is also some big things happening here tonight for us to look forward to on the Go Home show for that Raw exclusive pay-per-view. There's not that much you can do in 2 weeks, but we know what is going to be happening at that pay-per-view. Well, mostly. One thing we did see last week that helped us know what was going on the pay-per-view was the arrival of the Mae Young Classic winner, Jordynne Grace. She is here in action tonight, and I cannot wait to see what she brings to the table here on Monday Night Raw when we see her in action. But on top of that, we are going to be getting a great preview for Battleground here tonight in the main event. In a tag team match, the #1 contender to the World Heavyweight Championship, Hirooki Goto, will team up with Hiroshi Tanahashi to face Roman Reigns and the World Heavyweight Champion himself, Marty Scurll. That is going to be a great main event, and I'll talk more about it later on this evening. But as for now, it's time to open things up with the General Manager of Monday Night Raw, once again, Mr. Dredge. I swear this guy makes more appearances than I do at this point. Maybe more, well, I don't know. Him and James like getting their faces out in the spotlight. Yeah. Maybe I have a bit of catching up to do with those guys. But anyway, Dredge starting things off by saying that we have, I've read that as flurry. It's a flurry of fantastic matches on our way here tonight. But he is coming out here to make some announcements for Battleground. And in his eyes, despite the short time they've had to prepare for the event, it is going to be a great show. According to the words of the Raw General Manager, I mean, last week certainly helped to set the stage for that event. There was plenty up and down the card that we could look at to analyze for Battleground. He is, well, he's telling the truth, but there, last week we did see 2 big matches set up with Hirooki Goto become the #1 contender for Marty Scurll's world title, and of course the arrival of Jordynne Grace coming out here staring the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka, in the face. They will face this Sunday for the Raw Women's Championship at Battleground. And he is very glad indeed that the winner of the Mae Young Classic is on the red brand. Dredge very, very proud of it indeed. Sorry, that mic is absolutely tiny in his hand. And of course, there was the return on Raw as well of the Freak Lars Sullivan. After time away, the assault on Zayn. Last week, a single-handed Sami Zayn, his teaming up with Shelton Benjamin has forced his hand. So at Battleground, we'll be getting a bit of a special tag match between Sami Zayn and Cesaro, who will team up to take on Shelton Benjamin and Lars Sullivan. That is a very interesting tag team match added to the card as well. That one may be even more entertaining than the tag team title match we have coming our way. But Dredge wanted to close things out here just before Battleground by thanking the people in attendance, it seems. Saying that they may not have won the Royal Rumble, they may not have won at Survivor Series, but the fact that the people come in and week out to watch Monday Night Raw is enough to make Dredge one very happy man. And so, for all of that appreciation, he returns it by thanking the crowds in attendance. Well, there wasn't really that much I had to say about that. But some interesting news made there for Battleground. Sullivan and Benjamin to team up against Cesaro and Sami Zayn. That could make for a very interesting contest this Sunday on top of everything else that we've already seen. So does that make it about 6 matches now? Battlegrounds. And here comes a man who will be taking part in one of them, defending his United States Championship against Cassius Ohno. It will be Bobby Roode in action this evening. Ohno was in action last week against Chad Gable. Kind of got sidetracked a little bit by the involvement, shall we say, of Hiroshi, Tanahashi and Roman Reigns. But that does not take away from the fact that Bobby Roode does have a title defense to look forward to this Sunday. Does have a tough opponent in Cassius Ohno. And definitely not an opponent that he can afford to look past, look beyond, and think that he's got a title defense lined up for him either, because Ohno is a hard-hitting fighter. Ohno is a very tough cookie to crack, essentially. And it's not going to be easy to take care of him. That being said, Roode, of course, had to beat Hirooki Goto twice, not only to win that US title, but to hold on to it. And Goto has a world title match coming this Sunday. So confidence is something as well that the Glorious One can have in his possession. Roode will prepare to do battle here with Shane Thorne of TM61. We saw TM61 facing the Revival last week. It was a very close contest between the two teams. But once the Revival were able to section off, essentially, and close down, I think it was Miller, or was it Thorne? I can't remember. Once they were able to close them off, though, that was it. The lights were out, and the Revival were the number one contenders to the Authors of Pain Tag Team titles. What we do know, what is a good thing to know, is that just 6 days before Battleground, every single title match is set, sealed, signed. We know what every single title match is going to be, and that is a good thing. It's a good thing because it means the title matches aren't left at the last minute. And the other matches we have coming our way are pretty interesting as well. I think we're missing one match to fill out the whole pay-per-view card, because think about it, we have Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Roman Reigns, the winner going to challenge for the world title at WrestleMania. We have what has already been discussed more than once this evening, Lars Sullivan teaming up with Shelton Benjamin to take on the duo of Sami, Zayn and Cesaro. We'll be seeing a preview for that, I believe, up next, actually. And, of course, that's it. Don't know where I was going with that. And, of course, whatever the match is that's left. So I don't know. What I do know is that Cassius Ohno is going to be watching this match as he trains for that title match this Sunday. Ohno with another opportunity in front of him. I believe this is his third now at the US title in the last year. Ohno definitely wouldn't want to put a foot wrong, and would definitely love to get past Bobby Roode and claim that US title as his own. This is, in essence, a tune-up match for Roode to prepare for his own title defense. Of course, we haven't really seen much of Roode since... oh, here we go. There's the spinebuster from Roode. Nick Miller getting involved on the apron, though. And trying to cause a distraction here. Shane Thorne getting himself back into it there with a quick strike. Nice hurricanrana from him as well. This is a great opportunity for Thorne to try and make the most of it. Roode slipping in. Roll-ups have been his specialty over these last few months. And it seals another win for Bobby Roode here this evening. The Glorious One didn't want to get into a back-and-forth confrontation with TM61. He wanted to get in and get out. And I don't know what was quicker, the entrance or the match. Roode, your winner there, though. Shane Thorne frustrated, but that's the way this business goes. Bobby Roode, your winner, with just 6 days before Battleground. Roode basically on top of his game right now. We can see it there, how quickly he got that roll-up. Tells a story. We were due our next contest, but instead we are going to be hearing from Lashley up next. And here he stands in the ring. Bobby Lashley. Definitely a frustrated look on the expression of the man who made his return just about a month ago now. Lashley is speaking a fair degree of truth, saying that the first one eliminated in the Royal Rumble hurts for him, and it hurts a lot. He has to keep on moving forward, though, and that's what he's going to do. It's what he needs to do. Lashley believes himself to be much better than that and believes that the crowd think the same. Of course, at the Royal Rumble, he was the first man of 29 eliminated by Zach Gibson. He was number 2, but there was kind of an air to Lashley that we expected more from him, and he wants to try and bounce back from that right away. At Battleground, he's going to be having an open challenge. Anyone on the Raw roster eligible to come out and face him in a one-on-one match. And that is a strong idea from Lashley. He needs to prove to a lot of people, I would say myself included, that his return and the victories that he gained in his return over Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan weren't flukes. They were more than that. And Lashley does see it as a challenge, however, but he has to prove that he is not a bottom feeder, to put it in the other phrase. He is still up there with the big dogs. He believes that he is. The fans believe that he is, and everyone in his family believes that he is. Lashley believes this Sunday he will not be letting anyone down any longer. Well, that is brave, and that is admirable from Bobby Lashley. An open challenge this Sunday at Battleground. Will it go the way that Lashley wants it to go? We shall find out. And there it is. Your last match of Battleground is settled. How about that? As I was talking about it, there it is. Bobby Lashley's open challenge coming your way this Sunday. Battleground holding up to be a pretty interesting pay-per-view, in the first one without Sting on the Raw roster. A new era certainly dawning for Monday Night Raw. An era without Sting. And an era where we question almost the same as we did last year. Who stops the villain? Who is the one to bring the villain down from his perch atop Monday Night Raw? That is something that we'll find out as time goes on. As for now, however, we do have a hype match for Battleground coming our way. Lars Sullivan to go one-on-one against Cesaro. And you can see the silhouette of Shelton Benjamin as the spotlight remains focused on the two-time US champion, the Freak. The man who showed his face around not only at the Royal Rumble, but last week on Raw. Sami Zayn versus Shelton Benjamin. One-on-one was occurring, and out came Lars Sullivan. Walked right into the ring and hit a sledgehammer into the ribs of Sami Zayn. We had been seeing for weeks on end kind of issues forming between Benjamin and Zayn and Cesaro, and when Cesaro beat Benjamin, it kind of had the question of, well, that's pretty much Benjamin done, right? But it wasn't. He bounced back, and now with the Freak in his corner, I don't know how he achieved that, but with the Freak in his corner, suddenly things look a lot more dangerous for Cesaro and Sami Zayn, and especially so when these sides do battle at Battleground. Sami Zayn heading towards the ring with Cesaro. Cesaro was not by his side last week, but Zayn said he wanted to go it alone against Benjamin. He had a point he needed to prove, and he needed to get it done. Now, though, with these two guys on the outside standing with each other, I think it is of paramount importance that these two stand by one another. Two former world champions standing by one another's side against a two-time US champion. The gold standard to go with it. A former cruiserweight champion, I believe him to be. A television champion. It's television champion. Yeah. Alright. Here we go between these two guys. This is going to be a thriller to watch. Cesaro trying to just strike away at Lars Sullivan in the early goings here. Trying to knock him off his feet with his own power. He does so there with that big uppercut. Lars Sullivan dazed, but not going off his feet more than once. He doesn't plan on it. Big lariat, and he didn't catch all of it, but he caught enough to clip Cesaro and bring him right off his feet. Lars Sullivan taking no prisoners in the early stages of this match. Sullivan, of course, was nominated for Breakout Star of the Year. The voting has closed on those awards. We'll bring them to you as quickly as we can. Very interesting results, I must say. Talk more about them when I get the chance to. Well, when the award ceremony itself drops. As for now, we watch these two doing battle. Cesaro, big German suplex on Sullivan there. Bridges after, but wow, the Freak kicking out instantaneously. Big uppercut from Cesaro. He is fighting on here. He is not letting Lars Sullivan get away with what he did last week, and he's going to do his very best in order to make sure that goes his way. Huge whopping lariat, and off his feet comes Cesaro. Big knee in the face to go with it as well. Sullivan just aggressive right now. These two guys have been throwing shots at one another, essentially, just throwing strikes at each other. But it is Sullivan's who are hitting harder. than Cesaro's. Cover made here. Nerve grip applied now by Sullivan. He has just got total control over Cesaro right now. But the Swiss Superman doing his best to fight back. Sweeps the leg away from underneath him there. Huge overhand strike from Sullivan. And oh no, this is looking dangerous indeed. Perched up on that top rope. Only bad things can happen from here. And only bad things will happen. Superplex. Oh, what a counter from Cesaro. A heavy knee. And the Freak is derailed from the top rope. Cesaro comes in with a double axe handle as well. Sullivan just had no response to it, it seems. And here comes the unnatural strength of Cesaro right now. What a suplex that was. Sullivan kicks out of one and he's up to his feet before Cesaro was. Another suplex attempt incoming. Yeah, great counter from Cesaro though. And there's the uppercut into the chest. Cesaro hoping that he can close things out against Sullivan here. He's going to try and tap out the Freak. Can he do it? Can he force Sullivan to submit? Sharpshooter applied. Dead center. Middle of the ring. Nowhere for Sullivan to turn to. Will the 300+ pounder be forced to tap out here? Can Cesaro pick up a huge win before Battleground? He's got it locked in tight, but Sullivan breaks out of it. And that cut forming on the head of Cesaro tells the story of what it means to do battle with Lars Sullivan. Running splash in the corner. And look at this now. Throwing him by the grip of his head. Cesaro must have thought he was so close to victory, but it just got taken away from him in an instant. Lars Sullivan snapping back into control here. Now what's he going to do? He's got the leg. Oh my god. He just threw him like he was nothing. Like he was a toy in the pram he no longer wanted. Sullivan diving headbutt onto the chest of Cesaro. And now we fear there's only one move left, but Sullivan is going to torture Cesaro before he applies it. A taster of what's to come at Battleground this Sunday, it may well be. Doing everything to hurt Cesaro before that evening. A chinlock is stitched in here, but a big counter from Cesaro to fight back. Chop in the chest, missed it. Sullivan doesn't need to be open to the invitation twice. Backbreaker. Twisting slam as well from him. That is freakish nature, but so is this. Ready to close things out. Freak accident. 1, 2, and a tale of what may well happen this Sunday. Sullivan, your winner. Benjamin looking on with a happy smirk on his face. Your winner is Lars Sullivan on this evening. Cesaro still seems to be steering. Cesaro still seems to be ready to fight. But Sullivan is always ready to fight. And will him alongside Benjamin be walking out with a victory this Sunday at Battlegrounds. Time will only tell on that venture, that's for certain. As it will regarding what these two men will be able to perform when they defend their tag team titles in the other tag team match of the evening. I don't know which one AOP versus the Revival has the makings of a great tag team title match, but there is something about that's the thing, it makes a great tag team title match and a great tag team match. But there is something about Sullivan and Benjamin against Cesaro and Zayn that makes it a great match. And there's something that's different between the two. There's a difference between a great tag team match and a great match. I just feel that way about it. Nevertheless, we prepare for this evening's action here. It is going to be Rezar of AOP taking on Jinder Mahal. Please dismantle every fiber in his being. Hell, Akam, walk into the ring and hit the last chapter on him. Just walk in, just all of you hit him. Even Drake Maverick can get involved if he wants to. I'm not opposed to that idea. That being said, as I stated, the Revival will be facing these two men at Battleground this Sunday. American Alpha not given the opportunity of a rematch, probably because of their shaky form following losing the belt, and they've put a lot of focus into their singles competition as of late. So with that being said, will that make a difference in what AOP will be able to do to the Revival this Sunday? Will it make a difference in the tag team division for the long run? These are all questions that can be asked, but we simply don't know the answer. What I do know the answer to is, do I like Jinder Mahal? And it's no. Do I want to see Jinder Mahal get beaten up? Yes. Do I want him to lose? Yes. Is it sad that he's a former world champion while Triple H has never held the belt? Yes. Yes, it is. It was sad a year ago, and I would argue it's even sadder now. Because Triple H hasn't been on Raw since, what, around about payback time? Around about September, October-ish. And he's still more relevant on Monday Night Raw than Jinder Mahal is. So this is just to let Mr. Dredge know. I want Triple H back in action yesterday. Where's his world title shot? I don't care if he hasn't won in a little while. Give the man his world title shot. Now. This is not a match that I'm paying attention to. This is a match that apparently I'm going to vent Triple H. About Triple H not being on Raw as of late. There's Akam just yeeting Jinder Mahal across the ring right there. And, well, he didn't even do anything. Jinder just ran into him and fell over. Former world champion, by the way. Just in case you needed a reminder. Sometimes shows up with two men in blue shirts by his side. Other times doesn't. I don't really care when he does or doesn't, I will be honest. Face first into the mat. There goes Rezar. Mahal is fighting right now, and things aren't looking good for him either, I have to say. Snake eyes there from Rezar. And up and over and out. Jinder Mahal has been eliminated from the Royal Rumble. The great thing about that is he never even got to the Royal Rumble. I'm very glad about it. Quick shot there by Jinder on the outside, and we return to the in-ring. I'm surprised Jinder wanted to return to the in-ring action, I'll be honest, but each to their own. Akam totally in control. Big lariat there from him as he finished off Jinder. Oh, God. I mean, I have to watch more of this match. Yeah, we get it. Rezar has won. See, the problem with this match as well is that singles matches don't really make a difference to tag team matches. This could happen, but the Revival could still be the better tag team this Sunday. What it does show is AOP's dominance shines through in any kind of match. There's the cover, and Rezar has just beaten the most undeserving world champion in the history of this universe. Actually, I don't know if Bobby Lashley deserved the world title more than him. That's a topic for another day, I think. Rezar, your winner. And the Authors of Pain taking a comfortable win heading into this Sunday against the Revival. Things haven't finished here, though. Hush it out of the ring are Akam and Rezar, because their spokesman, Drake Maverick, has something that he would like to say. Drake Maverick started things off by saying that it seems as if they have to prove it over and over again that the Authors of Pain are the greatest team to ever stepped into the squared circle. Nah. Ever since they debuted, they've chomped their way to the competition and believe there is no challenge left on Monday Night Raw. They have already done what needs to be done, and they have done it with ease as well. There is no stopping the Authors of Pain. Sorry, but a tag team very similar to the Revival in DIY did it last year. I'm just saying. But in Drake Maverick's eyes, the Revival will be no different. They do not stand a chance against the units that are the Authors of Pain. They will fall like everyone else. In Drake Maverick's eyes, this is their time, their brand, and no way that is changing. So to the Revival, AOP will rule over them this Sunday. A threatening remark sent by Drake Maverick for sure, and one that I imagine the Revival will listen to. Could we see new tag team champions on the horizon? It'd be quite the upset, I think. But now, we get to focus on someone else, making a Monday Night Raw debut. It is the Mae Young Classic. winner for 2019. It is Thick Mama Pump. It is Jordynne Grace. And she will do battle here tonight, as she will do battle this Sunday against Asuka for the Raw Women's title. Grace won a 16 women's tournament, defeating Meiko Satomura in the finals to win the right to the Mae Young Classic victory. And with it, she won the right to challenge a women's champion of her choosing on Raw or SmackDown. She has gone for the big guns. She has gone for Asuka, and they will do battle this Sunday at Battleground with that women's championship on the line. It's going to be a great one between those two women. It's honestly a case like Kairi Sane and Asuka at the Royal Rumble. You don't need to hype it up. You don't need to say, oh, that you know, you don't need these two women locking horns week in and week out. You just need to say the winner of the Mae Young Classic is facing the unstoppable Raw Women's Champion. Done. That's enough hyping in my mind. That is plenty to get me excited for that match. Sold. I look forward to it this Sunday. I honestly believe it could actually be match of the night. Jordynne Grace's momentum from the tournament carrying her into things, along with Asuka's unstoppable ascent to the top since October. It's going to be a great one. Much like at the Royal Rumble against Kairi Sane, I wouldn't doubt the challenger. That's for certain. Carmella trying to put a spoiler on things by rolling up Jordynne Grace there. Nice little roll up by Carmella, who certainly has a great chance to put a huge spoiler on things. Just a few days before this Sunday. Quick strike attempt there by Jordynne Grace, countered by Mella. Throws her into the turnbuckle. Oh, God. Grace catching the boot and throwing her into that huge lariat. Jordynne Grace does as she pleases. She uses her power to extreme advantage, and Asuka's going to be experiencing this at Battleground. And Carmella is experiencing it right now. Both women back up to their feet. Heavy kick in their gut. Oh, good God. Power bomb. Incoming. Carmella rocked to the very core by it. This is all about Jordynne Grace right now. This is all about what is going to be dealt with at Battleground for Asuka. This is what she has to contend. This is what she has to try and go through to be the Raw Women's Champion heading into the grandest stage of them all. And Jordynne Grace has no plans on it being Asuka. Another huge gut-wrench suplex by Grace, and things might be about to end. There's the spine buster from Grace. And the finishing move that won her the tournament. The move that she has now called the Fall from Grace. 1, 2. Asuka, be ready this Sunday. Jordynne Grace makes short work of Carmella, and it shows the battle is on this Sunday between the Mae Young Classic winner and the Empress. It is a battle that you do not want to miss as they collide for the Raw Women's Championship. I certainly am looking forward to it. Who will walk out with the gold between those two women? And who, as a result of that, will be walking into WrestleMania with the gold around their waist? Grace may not have had the time to hype herself up on Raw, but that doesn't mean to say that a shock or a surprise couldn't happen. Definitely keep your eyes open for that one this Sunday. But along with it, we must keep our eyes open to the main event of this evening, to what we will see at Battleground. A tag team match between the two big matches. A preview to the event that takes place this Sunday. The #1 contender to the World Heavyweight Championship, Hirooki Goto, teams with the ace of the universe, Hiroshi Tanahashi, to take on the duo of Roman Reigns and the World Heavyweight Champion, Marty Scurll. We, of course, saw Goto last week beating CM Punk in one-on-one action in a thrilling contest to become the #1 contender. And now Goto awaits an ultimate prize, essentially, in front of him. Chance to be World Heavyweight Champion. It could happen for Goto. These last 2 weeks have been great for him. 4 eliminations in the Royal Rumble and a victory over a 5-time world champion. Goto has momentum by his side. He is not going to let the villain play any personal games with him either. And if you noticed, the villain almost didn't try to after his win last week. There was no Marty Scurll. Whether or not that Scurll's still soaking in the win at the Royal Rumble, I don't know. But he didn't try and get in Goto's face. But he will absolutely have to here tonight. There's going to be no avoiding him in a tag team match. A direct tag team match. When they stare each other down. And I wonder what the actions of the villain will be as they look into the faces of one another. I am very much excited for this one. And I'm also excited because of the further implications that this could have. Of course, we know that Goto versus Scurll is for the world title, but Tanahashi and Reigns is to determine the #1 contender to the world title at WrestleMania. It is a huge match for Tanahashi and Reigns as they lock horns for the right to challenge for that title on the grandest stage of them all. It could very well be the case that a winning duo here tonight could be facing for that title at WrestleMania. I don't know how many possibilities there can be in this match. What is there? Tanahashi could face Scurll. Tanahashi could face Goto. Tanahashi could face Reigns could face Goto. Reigns could face Scurll. So what's that? 5? Or did I just... No, there's 4. No, yeah, there's 4 in there. Or, along with that, there could be a further implication that if Goto was to win the world title, Scurll might get a rematch for it. So there could very well be a chance that another triple threat for the world title could be on its way. Though I have to admit, I am very interested to see what is going to transpire between these two sides. Of course, Goto and Tanahashi are going to work together, no problem at all. There's no egos between the two. They know what they want. They're going to work alongside each other. There are egos in the camp of Roman Reigns and Marty Scurll. There are strong egos there as well. But to close out the point that I was just making, we could well see Reigns and Scurll celebrate at the end of this evening, but we could well see them in about 2 months' time facing at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. That is a very interesting principle. This could be the final night that a winning team here may well be on the same side as one another. Because after Battleground, it is a straight dash to WrestleMania for the Monday Night Raw brand. Yes, there's King of the Ring in the middle of that. But that is a one-night event that does not bother most of the roster. It bothers 2 men on the Raw roster. And I highly doubt any of these 4 men will be involved in that tournament either. It's a chance to show what the future can bring for guys. And these 4 already have plenty to show for themselves. Roman Reigns won the Money in the Bank last year. Former United States champion. Still missing the big win in his career. Still missing an all-elusive World Heavyweight Championship. Hirooki Goto, former United States champion, burst onto the scene in 2018. And now finds himself, just after a great Royal Rumble, on the door of a world title reign that a few weeks ago he might not have ever expected to be coming his way. Hiroshi Tanahashi, he tells his own story. The ace, one of the greatest in-ring talents I believe we have ever seen, and one of the finest in-ring talents on Monday Night Raw as well. Tanahashi has not been pinned or submitted since arriving to Raw at the end of August either. That is 5 months since he last quote-unquote lost a match. Yes, at Armageddon, his full-on undefeated streak was brought to an end, it must be said, in that triple threat match with Sting pinned Reigns. But here comes the man who tapped out Sting last Sunday, who ended the Stinger and his career. The villain heads towards the ring. Last week it was a celebration, a time of bragging, and a time of being full in his own head of what he believed he could pull off. Tonight it is his first match since winning that belt, and it has to be looked at what the ego of the villain will be. High. High is what I have to say. Out of this, it's going to be a huge ego on the face of Scurll and the actions of him in the ring as well. He is going to be demonstrating it from head to toe. No doubt about that one in my mind. Scurll, if he has a chance to show off the ego, he will. And he gladly will as well. It is time to begin our main event this evening. Goto will lock horns with Roman Reigns here. This one's going to be a good one. Reigns flying out of the gates there after Goto, who just kind of ducked under that leaping clothesline. But look at this. Reigns with a point to prove. We saw Reigns' aggression last week on Tanahashi when he powerbombed him into an oak wood table. A table that does not give way, and a table that is not kind of cheaply made like the ones we see breaking in these rings every so often. That is a proper executive's desk. That is a heavy desk. And Tanahashi's back came down on it. The ace, of course. He needed a week to recover. In Tanahashi's mind, he is fine. He can fight. And fighting is exactly what he is going to do this evening and indeed this Sunday with Roman Reigns. Goto had a little bit of a shaky start, but here he goes now. Huge, heavy hitting moves. Into the turnbuckle we go, and already a tag made. Goto and Tanahashi quickly working together here. Great work there from Goto and the ace. Tanahashi in there, quick drop kick onto Roman Reigns. These two men have met in the past. It was Roman Reigns who tried to put a dampener on Tanahashi's chance to be the World Heavyweight Champion back at Armageddon. But now they do battle again here. Both men were in the Royal Rumble. Both men didn't have great performances in all honesty. Tanahashi, I think, did he get an elimination? I don't remember. I feel like he did, but at the same time, I don't remember. This guy, of course, will remember the Royal Rumble for a completely different reason. Scurll and Tanahashi locking horns again. They did so just before the Royal Rumble, and when that happened, Scurll took a bat to the head of Tanahashi to send a message to Sting. And now the ace and the villain lock horns again. And he is working on that leg right now. Yanking it back there, maybe knowing something that the rest of them don't, maybe thinking he can cause a further problem to help Roman Reigns. Big running knee there from Marty Scurll. But again, he's looking like he wants to go to work on that arm. Locks it down there and stamps on the palm of Tanahashi's hand. That is a pretty painful move for Scurll to execute. The villain looking to go here. Tanahashi's hand may be hurting, but his forearm full of fight. Scurll with a big forearm in the face, though, rocking Tanahashi off his feet briefly, and a disrespectful slap. The villain has no respect and no time in his mind to respect the ace either. Quick counters from Scurll. Boot is caught. Dragon screw by Tanahashi. Imagine what a win would do for Tanahashi just before Battleground. Getting a win over the world champion is always a huge outcome. But here we go. The main event of Battleground now is getting the chance to lock horns. Scurll and Goto doing battle with one another. What a chop in the chest there. Big thrust kick in the gut, however. And these two guys start fighting. A prelude of what is to come, but Reigns from behind there. A cheap shot to the back of Goto's head. And Scurll is in to take advantage. Scurll going to wind things up here. Oh, no super kick from Marty Scurll, it seems. But the villain looking to wear down Goto now. Looking to slow him down in his tracks. And looking to show what he's going to do this Sunday to Goto as well. The crossface chicken wing. It is locked in. Goto just shy of the ropes. But will he tap out? Will he submit to the villain? He does not plan on doing so tonight, and I don't imagine he plans on doing so this Sunday either. Goto again. Big German suplex. Scurll reeling, but Goto giving him no time to recover. Slapping his chest. Throwing him into the turnbuckle there. Might have been lining up a running attack, but Roman Reigns getting himself involved. Goto welcomes it, and Reigns knocks him down. The world champion, no longer the legal man. Reigns going to have to do battle against Goto once again. What a powerbomb from Roman Reigns. Reigns in position. Superman punch. Goto swatted it away. Could not swat away the Michinoku driver though. And the number one contender to the world title is down. And the potential future number one contender has just tagged in the world heavyweight champion Scurll back in this thing pretty quickly indeed. Double back body drop there. Tanahashi though calling for the tag, and Goto made the tag. Tanahashi the legal man. Tana and Scurll doing battle again, but Scurll evading that leaping lariat there. And the villain back in the driver's seat, sending him to the turnbuckle. Will the tag be made into Roman Reigns? No, it will not. Tanahashi staying the legal man in this one. Big uppercut there. And Tanahashi might have been thinking Sling Blade there. Didn't get a big enough of a run-up for it, though. Scurll in now and counters him. Suplex from the villain. Stops him dead. And the tag is made. In comes Roman Reigns. A lot of tags in this match so far. A lot indeed. And here we go. These two guys, though, meeting for the first time since what happened last week on Raw. And you can see the fire in Tanahashi as he goes to work there. Tanahashi, Clover hold on Reigns, Texas Clover hold. Will he try and make Reigns tap out just before Battleground? He's got it locked in. Reigns trying to crawl to the ropes, but he powers out in his own right as well. Tanahashi maybe backed up in the corner that he does not want to be in. That's not going to stop him fighting. Very interesting idea there by Roman Reigns. Stops it though, kicks his way off that top rope. Belly to belly attempt. Tanahashi though read it. See, the thing about that is that Reigns had already tried it once in the match, and Tanahashi therefore knew that he had to counter it and knew how to counter it as well. Tanahashi going up high. Are we going to see the high fly flow? Tana up there, lining things up. No, goes for another variation out of her body splash, but took too long, and Reigns makes him pay for it. Knees in the gut. Schoolboy power bomb. Reigns working on that back that he hurt last week on Raw, but Tanahashi able to fight back, and the tag is made. Goto in. Reigns stopping him. Clothesline attempt though. Big duck from Goto. Oh my goodness. Reigns in with another hefty counter. What a standout bit of work there. That was from Roman Reigns. And the knee in the face brings Goto down. Tanahashi trying to recover on the outside here. Goto effectively in a 2-on-1 situation right now. And if there's one man who's going to love every bit of that, it's the world champion on the outside. And Roman Reigns has decided that it is time for the world champion maybe to apply the finishing touches and embarrass Goto heading into this Sunday. Literally just trying to pick off from his work. Goes for the cover, but not enough to finish things off. Tanahashi back on the apron there. And look at that. Scurll mocking both of them, blowing a kiss to the back of Goto into the face of Tanahashi. Goto makes him pay though. Slips his way out of it. Goto! Ushigoroshi! And Goto all of a sudden fired up. No way. GTR! Goto! Revolution! To the world champion. Wait a minute. Goto goes into the cover. Reigns outside. And Goto has pinned the world champion 6 days before Battleground. Goto pins Scurll. And that is your headline to take out of this evening's action of Raw. Scurll's cockiness just derailed him because Goto has pinned him. And if he does it again this Sunday, he is the World Heavyweight Champion. Are we looking at the duo to headline the world title match at WrestleMania? Standing right there. Will Tanahashi conquer Reigns? Will Goto conquer Scurll? We will find out this Sunday at Battleground. A short build to the show, but an exciting show. No doubt about it. That is to come this Sunday. And it could very well be a huge evening for Monday Night Raw. That ends episode of Raw though. Thank you guys for watching. Take care guys. and ta-ra.